Did at any time in your reading of The Observer you have the feeling that you didn't understand what the author was trying to say?
No, your story is straightforward. You select your characters carefully. Each one has a role to play. Each one moves the story along at a different pace, in a different way, but the story moves as an ensemble piece with all the characters, including you yourself. You move the story along, and there's no point where you think, well, what's happened, and I don't quite bridge that gap from here to there. That doesn't happen because it's character driven, and there's no question. You're very consistent with your characters, how they feel, how they act, what they do, what they think. They all move the story along as an ensemble piece, and there's no veering off to a subplot here and adding some confusion there. It's very straightforward, and you follow those characters through this. It's almost like watching a play. You go from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3 to the conclusion, and it's easy to follow along. There are no distractions in terms of plot in this book.
Were you able to find humor in the story?
I did. It's not pervasive. It's not a humor book in that sense. You find humor. I found humor in some of the characters, and of course that's really super humor because it's not manufactured to be funny. The humor comes from the characters, and the thing is, sometimes they're doing what they do naturally. You don't create situations. It's them. It's about them acting in a natural way, and humor is derived from that. For instance, I thought to me, it was humorous that here's one of the richest, probably the richest woman in the nation, who feels somehow there's a psychological something about her that she wants to cook breakfast for anybody who's staying in her mansion. And she herself gets up every morning early and fixes a full breakfast for them. Glenn, that's a psychological quirk that's humorous to me, but it's interesting. It makes her interesting. That's an example. But humor in this book I like because it comes from the characters. It's not manufactured.